Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. Please take a deep breath. Okay, so for everybody, this is a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read. I'm going to pull an energy deck card first. There's the energy deck. And today is July 21st, 2020. The 21 is the world. And where are we? 28, 30, 32. We're at 32, which is the Six of Wands, the journeyman. So we're at the end of the cycle of the journey. And this is right around graduation time every year for the Twin Flames. It always starts at well, part of it I think starts even at the June solstice, the June 21st. And now this is another galactic beginning of the year, right? The 25th, I believe it is, of July. And then going into the official graduation date, which is August 8th, Lionsgate. And so it's like what's the word? I'm just blanking out. Just extra time, like after you've graduated, it's a grace period. So it's like a grace period until graduation to get your stuff in order if you haven't already in order to graduate. So again, we have the world and the Six of Wands, which is about good news coming in, right? It's at the end of the war, coming in to deliver the good news that the war is over. Having followers, success, and leading the way, leading by example. And then the world is about going out into the world, about completion, about coming full circle, about the divine feminine marching to the beat of her own drum. So let's see what comes up for the masculine here. This is the divine masculine twin flames, so it therefore affects the masculine within the feminine as well. It is a general read, so if something doesn't resonate with you, don't force it to fit. There's a lot of energy on this table. It is a 7-deck read. So let's go on ahead there. We have the energy deck. Let's see what comes up for us. So for everybody watching, for the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Sending a lot of love out to all you guys. Let's clear all the negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned, and fill that empty space with beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, a whole bunch of cards just dropped out for you, so I guess you're supposed to have them. The bottom of the deck is 29, which is the Three of Wands, which is perfect because this read starts on the Three of Wands. 29 is that, in this card, it's very much about taking the macro perspective, right? Taking a step back and seeing the big picture, seeing the earth from above, even as a universal indicator. And also the 29 is about, the traditional card is about waiting for your ships to come in, but in our journey, it's about staying in the present moment, coming back to the present moment. And when you're getting too much inside yourself, to take a bigger perspective. When you're too much outside yourself, to come back and go within. Okay, so this is very much about going outside of yourself now to see the bigger picture. Take a big look at the whole earth and what's going on in the world. And they're also standing at the end of the pier, or the boardwalk. I always get under the boardwalk, so that's coming up here. And this is reminding me of a movie. It's kind of like jumping off the end of the pier when all hope is lost. Step back and see a greater perspective. See how good you have it compared to everyone else. And it's not to compete or compare it with anyone, but it's when you're feeling low to help yourself come out of that. That's why you go out and help others, because you then see how good you really do have it, because there's always other people out there who are in more need or suffering more than you are. And it's not about comparing that at all. It's about helping each other out. All right, so the cards that came out for you guys here, we have the Door to Value, which is 31, the Five of Wands, which is expansion, conflict, battles, fighting. Also, though, it's playing and games and the pursuit of happiness. And this is about the door to value. What is it that you value? If you don't know what you value, how is the other person you're with going to know what you value? Make sure you know what you value before you get into a relationship. And this is very much about the lower chakras, right? The root chakra of red, the sacral, and then the solar plexus of yellow here. And do you value money over love? We have 15, and that's been coming up a lot, the devil, the shadow energy, to show your appreciation, to be grateful for what you have, even if it's not perfect at the moment. There's always something to be grateful for, okay? And then we have the thinking man, 46, which is the 6 of cups. And here it's about using the innocence of the child, the inner child, to discover what you truly love to do. What do you value? All right, so this is the thinking man connecting to his inner child heart to play with crystal energy or crystals, the actual rocks, or actually just discover your psychic abilities, your intuitive abilities. And then here's the storm warning. So this is about preparing yourself, learning how to come back to 0 point before the storm comes so that you're ready when you get triggered to come right back to 0 point again. And this is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, staying at that high vibration, a turn for the better. So storm warning doesn't mean something negative, right? Sometimes it just takes a storm coming in to clear the air. And there's a lot of lightning in this picture, but they're not huge lightning bolts. There are a lot of veins, right? And the veins are slower than the arteries. They take their time coming back. So if you get hit by lightning, and also lightening up what's been coming up. Instead of lightning, the masculine lightens things up. So sometimes he comes in like a whirlwind like this, but in order to lighten things up, to make things more fun. So it's all in the greater perspective of things. All right, so let's get right into this read. It is a long one today. Let's see here. Oh, and of those, if you haven't watched Magenta's latest video, it was 5D Symphony. I don't think she's put another one out. But 5D Symphony with Nina and Lyndall, it's a really good one. They're people in music backgrounds, so light language and just the musician's background, because it's a different perspective than the indigo energies out there speaking their truth and that kind of thing. So if you're into music or you are a musician, that's a great one for you to watch. And I cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck at 929, because that's the main deck for the read. 9 is the Hermit, 29 comes up again here, which is that 3 of Wands, staying in the present moment. And then at 9:45, 45 being the 5 of Cups, that grieving card, also being stuck at the Y in the road, the J in Justice was covered, so Ustus came up, which I was being guided to break into 3 parts initially. So Us, or the US, and then TI, which is source energy, and then CE, which is European standards. So the main thing that was coming up for me was that us, or the US, is toggling up or sourcing or tied to European standards, because we always have been to a certain degree. But that was coming up, but cold as ice was coming up. So the US needs to toggle up, or in other words, meditate when things get cold as ice with our sources, or the people that we're tied to, like Europe. That was the only country that was coming up here, but it has to do with other people as well, right? One person and then a group of people. When things get difficult with our ties or sources, it's time to meditate, go within and toggle up, especially when others are cold as ice, or maybe you're feeling that way, so you need to meditate. So the common era was coming up here, as well as the sea, the ocean, which always has to do with the emotions. The seeing with the vision has to do with the third eye and 20/20 vision. And then the C of the Christ unity consciousness, as well as the vitamin C, which is very healthy for you, helps you battle infection and other things like that. Then at 9:46, the numerology cards were put out, and self again was covered, so it came up, instead of self-discipline, came up F-discipline. So F-discipline, so someone's saying F off, right, as far as discipline, especially someone who's frustrated or too tired and not caring right now. But remember, the discipline comes up in a different way here now that I've broken it down, because it's the disciple plus INE. And I and E is water, Jaguar energy, as well as an Old English in. And they're all about emotions, right? Water's emotion. The Old English in is somewhere that you feel very comfortable. It's a very comforting, motherly place. And then the Jaguar, which is very passionate and spiritual. You know, they hide up, we did a whole thing with the Jaguar last week. The Jaguar, you know, hides out in the shadows in the tree and is very ready before they leap, right? So it's about discipline of your own emotions. Not, remember, the disciple follows someone else's way of thinking, but discipline has to do with following your emotions, being disciplined in your emotions, knowing when to go within and knowing when to come out. So it's basically saying, don't worry about discipline. It's not a negative connotation. It's just following your own instincts, using your intuition. That's the discipline needed here. And F also has to do with phi. Phi is a signal for me that you're knocked off center because you've expanded, so now it's time to come back to 0 point again, to come back to the present moment. F also references to me the human body heating up or cooling down in reference to the twins specifically together because they're working as two people, right, in the same energy. So we start this, I finished clarifying the read at 10 o'clock right on the dot. So there's a lot of source energy backing us up with the one energy of the magician embodiment. And the major arcana here were the Chariot, Alchemy, which is like the Temperance card, Justice, and then after the read, because I always pull a few cards on either side, we had the Luna and Transition, which is the Moon, and the Death card. And then we had 2 Wands, 2 Cups, 2 Swords, and 2 Pentacles. So we had 4 twos today. This rarely happens, but we had 4 twos, which is perfectly balanced. So again, the masculine learning when it's phi energy, when they're heating up or cooling down, to pull back to center again, come back to the present moment. And we have 4 twos here, which is perfect because they didn't have any cups the past 2 days. Today, they're perfectly balanced. We have the Knight of Wands and then the Queen of Pentacles in the read. And before the read, the Page of Cups, that very innocent emotional energy came up. And then after the read, the Knight of Cups. So Page of Cups and Knight of Cups were before and after the read. So it's even like the Page of Cups growing up to the Knight of Cups by the end of this read today. And there may be a reason for that. It's very profound at the end of this read. So again, that was Knight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Cups came up within the read. As far as the code line, the numerology card, and the numbers here, the numerology deck was self-discipline, like I told you. So it's selling, F, discipline. So screw discipline, but self-discipline, right? We're selling to screw the regular discipline and follow your own instincts, follow your connection, stay connected to your higher self. The code line number was all about number 6 as well as double 6s. So besides the 4 twos, we also had double 6s. In a lesser sense, we did have double 7s too. 66 is the Queen of Pentacles, 77 is the Sovereign, which very much can be mother and daughter, or the one who's married and the one who's single, okay? Because they could both be the same age person. The Sovereign can be someone any age. They're just sovereign, and they have everything they need, and they're single. So we also had the numbers 1, 3, and 10 were significant. The Magician, the Empress, and the Wheel of Fortune. So turn for the better, turning in your favor. And then 13 of the Death card, 36 of the 10 of Wands, which is the Atlas or Weight of the World on your shoulders energy. And then 610, which is 61 with 0 backing it up. That's source empowerment, making it more powerful. And 61 is that Liar, Cheater, Thief card, but it's really a card of inherent risk. It doesn't have to be something immoral or illegal. It's just risky. There's some risk involved. And of course, all things worth doing usually have some risk involved there. So we have the 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, and then 9, 10, begin again and again and again. Again, that's taking that macro perspective. And the sequence 7, 8, 9 came up, and that's like the 5D, because 1, 2, 3 is 3D, 4, 5, 6, 4D, and then 7, 8, 9 is 5D. So that's referencing the 5D. And then also 6 through 10 was coming up, which is the second half of the cycle. So the code line being about self-discipline and F-discipline, and all about the number 6, which has to do with love, family, and community, but also it's the Lover's card. And if you spell the number 6, it's the S9, which is the Sophia 9, the feminine collective consciousness. So the message here was very much about the Knight of Wands, or the Adept of Flames in the SIRIAN Starseed deck, being good at dealing with fire, flames, drama, expansion. Okay, someone who's very passionate and very physical. And the messages were coming up here. The Divine Feminine sees the bridge, or the gateway of the throat activation. Gabriel's coming up here again. And I have to tell you that throat activation card, Gabriel, in the energy deck has been coming up for weeks now. So the throat chakra has been a major focus now to get everyone to open up their throat, sing, speak their truth. All sorts of things have been coming up this month. This is your show of power, even in the masculine, bringing out your own divine feminine, using your throat chakra to speak your truth. And Gabriel's here helping us along here. Seeing the bridge, or the gateway, as the show of power to take the high road, being one of two, right? You're one of two. Twins are always part of another. You can't just do things for you, because you're doing things for both of you all the time. And if the Knight of Wands, which is that passionate energy rushing in, and it can be a passionate loving energy, or it can just be creative energy, but it's movement energy going forward at a fast pace, regarding coming in with the lovers of the unity consciousness. But the Christ and the Jesus human, it's saying that they're coming up as one of three parts, right? So this gets expanded in a second, so I'm not going to leave it at that. So it's part Christ, part Jesus, part human. So then I went into Wiktionary, because I always use Wiktionary because it defines all languages and the meaning. So the word today was ungodly, which is immoral, sinful, wicked, extreme, or unreasonable. The foreign word came up was an old Armenian. It's a symbol word, but the translation was interesting. Jagi det, or day, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It was Jagi, which is like jaguar even, which came up already, and then det. So it's old Armenian, and that meant lemon balm. And Melissa officinalis came up as well. So the name Melissa was coming up here, and then lemon balm and ungodly. So maybe there's a Melissa who's ungodly today, or maybe there's someone doesn't like lemon. Actually, my daughter's friend was just here who can't eat lemons. So that's kind of interesting. And so again, the acronym SEV came up, which is defined by, it's a type of Indian food. It's chickpea, flour paste, crunchy noodles. And it also is the seventh beat or pulse of a measure, spoken, it says in the definition specifically. So we're talking about activating the throat chakra. The seventh beat or pulse of a measure, spoken. And then also means two, but regarding self, to self. And then also means a flash of lightning or light, or shave, or to shave. And the lightning already came up as far as the masculine light coming in to lighten things up. And also men shave, so that definitely involves the masculine energy. And the other symbol that came up in the code line was the triple bar, just like you use on the menu for most websites. I always remember it from, I got a pendant that was in Egyptian, so I always remembered it having 3 lines across, but it was really the symbols that were used, and then there's vertical symbols in between them. But it's called the triple bar, and the Unicode for the triple bar is code point U plus 2261. And 22 is the Fool with the open heart, taking that leap of faith. And 61, again, is that card of inherent risk, right? One with an open heart, taking a leap of faith, is always taking risk. And that's okay. And it's interesting, too, because I was born in 61. So if the meaning of this triple bar, regarding lots of different things, it's in logic, math, chemistry, and applications, and answers.com. I got a definition there as well. So it means if and only if connected, or in other words, material equivalence. Is it equal, or is it congruent, right? Are they identical, or are they congruent? Are they side by side? And then bonding and merging and fusing come up regarding those two differences, okay? Because if you bond, it's side by side. But when you merge and then fuse, it's because you're the same. You're actually able to become intertwined. So it's very interesting that this definition was coming up In logic, it means binary operation whose value is true when its two arguments have the same value. In math, identity or an equivalence relation, although not the only one, where they're talking about congruence versus identical. So I'm not giving you the whole thing, I'm just giving you a summary of what the definition was. In chemistry, and this was EN Wikipedia. I'm sorry, this was Wiktionary, but I have Wikipedia as well. So in chemistry, I'm sorry, this was not in Wiktionary because I couldn't put the triple lines in for a definition. This was when I was looking it up. And so again, Wikipedia, and then I have answers.com here too. But in chemistry, it means triple bond between atoms. So that was very interesting regarding Adam and Eve and the third energy. And then the three lines is also equal when comparing the same type specimen. So again, when they're the same, when the same DNA or same energy, that they can actually merge together as opposed to be congruent or side by side. So in applications, it's called the hamburger icon that you use for your menu on your websites. It's the navigation menu, and that started back in the 1980s. Similar to icon justified text alignment. In answers.com, the Tripundra came up, which has to do with Shiva and Brahma and Vishnu. The three lines put on the forehead. The holy ash signifies purity and the burning away of Anava, Karma, and Maya, the Bindu dot and third eye, and it quickens spiritual insight. So then some Egyptian stuff was coming up. For Shiva came up, and then for some reason Ra was coming up for me. And I went into some of the Egyptian symbols to see what I was trying to remember, why I was equating the triple bar with the Egyptian pendant that I had. So of course the death symbol is a straight line across pretty much. And there's some interesting symbols coming up here, because lying down was like a staple upside down, like someone lying on a table. And then of course the Eye of Horus comes up there, and then that relates back to Ra. And reeds were in my pendant. And then the symbols, there was three symbols. They're not three straight lines across, but they're three symbols that are pretty horizontal, which reference the God and the Lord of the skies in heaven in Egyptian. So that was very interesting too. And then some of the symbols, like a paperclip type symbol, that was the intestines, and that was taking me back to my safety pin example, because a paperclip is very similar to the safety pin, except it doesn't have the housing or the circles at the bottom. The same kind of idea. Bows and arrows were also flat, and also the water sign, because it's just like a heartbeat. You know, it's a lot of wavy lines up and down with points. So there's actually 7 points represented in ripples of water. And then there's one symbol that's 3 ripples of water. But again, the ripples of water have 7 points in all. But the water is symbolic of the heartbeat, because if you put a line through the water symbol, it's a heartbeat. It's just, lower on the bottom, less of a point on the bottom as there is on the top. Again, erring on the side of light. Something else that was interesting, they showed a house is like the upside down paperclip, but it has 2 feet coming inward at the bottom of the paperclip. That's the house. And then they show the house with an ankh in it, and the ankh, it's actually called a sandal strap as opposed to an ankh. So it's considered the house plus life or sandal strap. And then the sideways paper clips, if it's like a C, it's opening of an enclosure, and then if it's the C backward, it's like a closing. And then I was getting into some symbols from, electricians' websites, because they have the 3 wires across, which have to do with conductors. And if there's a 0 in the middle of the 3 lines, it means that it's active, right? There's actually conduction going on in the wire. So back to, also just a reminder about Ra. Ra is the falcon man with the head of the falcon. And part of Ra is Horus, and actually Horus was named after Ra by Isis. And so Horus is Isis's son, and then Osiris is the father, and then the daughters of Ra, of Bastet and Sekhmet and Hathor, and Sekhmet and Hathor are believed to be the same daughter. They switch their personas. Like Hathor is the one who makes him laugh and makes him happy, you know, the child that sits at his knee and makes him laugh. And then Sekhmet is more vengeance related, like Bastet is. They're the three eyes of Ra. So that stuff was coming up here, and that comes up. The third eye was taking me back to the third eye of the Hindu gods. And Shiva is considered the third. So Brahma's first, Vishnu's second, and then Shiva's third. And then Hathor's third. Or was third in the listing anyway of the definitions I received. But also is the light one of the three. So going back to the code line, we have the Divine Feminine and the seventh beat spoken. Seeing the bridge, and also E-I-E-I-O is coming up here. So old MacDonald has a farm, E-I-E-I-O. I always remember, and a chick here, and a chick there, a chick here, a chick everywhere, chick. So that's coming up. But a lot of E's here, and E is the number 5. And the E is those 3 lines with an I on it, right? So it's the eye of the I am presence along with the tripundra, or the triple bond between atoms, and the I am presence connecting those 3. And again, that relates back to the chakra system. So the 7 beats, or heartbeats even, spoken, and seeing the bridge of that, of Gabriel's or God's show of power in taking the high road, or the highway to heaven, the support system of the chakra system, the ES referencing not only my initials, but the Elohim and the Sophia, because the Elohim is both the masculine and the feminine, and the Sophia is saying, but it's needs to be more feminine than the masculine and feminine. So it's erring to the side of the light, again, the etheric realms. So the water ripple is much like the beating heart, more above, less below. Just like Elohim needs a little bit more Sophia, ES was coming up, a little more Sophia, a little bit above the middle. And then again, referencing the 3 lines equal to the U 2261. And then the U is also the Holy Grail. And 2261 is the Fool and the risk taker, the Fool with the open heart. The Holy Grail is the Fool with an open heart, who also takes risks. It also can reference the High Priestess times 2, right? We have 2 twos, 2 High Priestesses, the Lover and the Magician embodiment. Or the High Priestess, the Page of Wands, and the Magician. Okay, again, that can reference the third energy as the page, the inspiration, the Page of Wands. So, in supporting the chakra system, as the Elohim with a little bit more feminine energy, the Sophia, the after-death test of drama, and remember, as we're going through portals, it's a rebirth situation, just like the 9-10. We begin again and again and again because we're going through deaths over and over again, and rebirth. So the after-death test of drama and expansion is like the lover's office, where it's the phi, the circle with the line going outside the lines, where the temperature is rising, as Christ and Jesus are only equal, and this is referencing back to all of the math and logic definitions here of the triple bar, that Christ and Jesus are only equal if connected, and then by source, with human embodiment of the source energy. As Christ expands, Jesus aligns, and the human embodiment of source then merges and fuses as one. So that was really cool coming up. All right, so just quickly some of the stuff that was coming up online with this code. Again, David, Guetta, and Sia came up. Flames lyrics, that came up. That was the first one up yesterday, I believe, or the day before. The Sia Flames, symbol in all the light we cannot see. And they're referencing the Sea of Flames as the diamond. And this was from litcharts.com. The chaos of existence versus fate, beauty, and science. the coincidence versus fate or destiny, the random piece of carbon versus the magical diamond, the ordinary versus extraordinary, the meaningless versus meaningful was coming up under that review of that. And that was from litcharts.com. Another header came up was Luke 16:24 from Bible Gateway. The rich man also died and was buried. And from among the dead, he looked up and saw Abraham along the way, or saw Abraham a long way away, and Lazarus in his arms. Father Abraham, he cried out, please pity me. Send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool me, tongue. For I am in agony, or anguish, or tormented, or suffering, depending on which Bible you're looking at, in these flames. And then basically God's response to him was, remember, my son, that you used to have all the good things, while Lazarus suffered the bad outside your door, basically. He was sitting at the gate, homeless. And now he is comforted while you are in agony. So now this is bringing back the inn, right, that I was bringing up as a place to be comfortable. And God was also saying there's a great chasm also has been set between you and us because you separated yourself from others as human beings. So that was coming up from Luke 16:24. Another heading was the 7 flames of the 7 deadly sins, the code breaker on fandom.com, the power used by the emperor and currently used by Rei Ogami. Each flame with unique abilities and personality, but at the same time they each have a price that Ogami must pay in order to fully use them. So you each have your own separate personalities, you're each unique, but there are certain things you can only use as you act as one consciousness. And at that moment when I was writing that one, it was 11:41 and my phone dinged. That was a confirmation. 11 is justice and 41 is the Ace of Cups. Another header was S.G. Lewis, again, Flames lyrics from genius.com. And part of the lyrics coming up there were Blow the Smoke Away. Another header was Denace or Denachi, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Watch the Flames lyrics, 12:28:13. Darren Korb in the Flame lyrics, 12:25:17. And part of the lyrics were When the Stars Align, ... And that references to the age of Aquarius. And then another header was How to Make Sex Better, and in parentheses with pictures on wikihow.com. That was July 8th, 2020. And it basically was saying, see your doctor, some causes of sexual dysfunction, maybe medical causes, especially for men, like heart disease, high blood pressure, obesity, and stress. And the last header was the 8 simple rules for good customer service, 4/8/20. And that was right at noon, at 12 o'clock on the dot. And then I was talking to my sister right then. All right, so back to the code line. We had the Divine Feminine seeing the bridge or the gateway in the show of power in taking the high road. And the mass Tessia. I wasn't sure that would mean something, but this was perfect because Tessia is a type of bush warbler or a songbird in Southeast Asia. So it's literally saying the Divine Feminine sees the bridge or gateway as a show of power in taking the high road in a mass of songbirds, or in other words, the twin flames, in the department of flames, or the fire department, the passion department, or the drama department, and the lovers of the sea wren, and the Tessia was actually compared to the wren as the Japanese wren, I think it was. So it's again coming back, the songbird. The sea, as in the ocean of emotion, the sea of the sight, of the third eye and the vision, and the sea of the Christ and unity consciousness, of the wren human, the songbird human, like the bird of Ra. That the Divine Feminine is the sea bridge, the emotional gateway. It is her show of power, taking the high road in a mass songbird department of passions, a lover's office, or of the sea, the ocean, or the sea, the vision, the wren, the bird, the Tessia, human, the human songbirds of the sea. So how beautiful is that? All right, so now we get into the read. We started with the 3 of Wands. And the cards underneath the 3 of Wands, the 3 of Wands is here, where you see the flame. Okay. Underneath that's the 7 of Cups upright, the Page of Cups upright, the 8 of Pentacles upright, and the 9 of Pentacles upright. Looking back after synchronicities, perhaps confusion, shopping, or multiple choices or options, the Page of Cups, message of love, working to align. And that Page of Cups can very much be like that wren bird. It's a very small, petite songbird. You know, it's beautiful. And there was a bird outside my window that I was saying before was a really small bird, and I didn't think it was a sparrow, so now I'm wondering if it was a wren. The Page of Cups, message of love, working to align with sovereign, merge, or be the same as, to take steps one at a time with innocent heart and work authentically to you to create sovereignty without being dependent on or waiting for others, for the ships to come in, to be able to create on your own, to receive love from or out of instability, visitation, movings, or endings of marriages, whatever the move is, being able to self-love to heal the past, that you give love to yourself by moving on or changing things up. Insecurities without the right tools, feeling like you don't have options when you're trapped or prisoner of love, and to move into self-happiness, self-satisfaction, even when things are unstable, to be able to function again. Realizing that strategizing causes imprisonment of choices and illusions, making up stories in our minds, or having a plan and then stuck on how to implement with too many decisions to make and worried about making the wrong one. Synchronicities and sovereignty of awakening, or the divine masculine feeling trapped, seeing synchronicities of the divine feminine, sovereign, awakened, and insecurities that then arise, is just the inability to make magic, when all it takes to make magic is the Knight of Cups, to offer love, to be love, to create the dream, family, business, and or community or legacy, trading in tools and table for a walk by the falls or a ride on a white horse, to strengthen old legs, and a walk works for everyone, even the very old. Communal living, where you could pop in on your parent in a home for those like them on a regular basis by just taking a walk, where dogs live there too and keep them company, and kids can stop by on their own when they're playing outside with their friends. Knowing it's okay to put your parent in a facility that will take good care of them. Just as it takes a community to raise a child, it does an elderly parent as well. A place with others their age and activities they like, and care you wouldn't be able to supply by yourself at home, and that you are not here to live their late life depression. You are here to follow your bliss. For some, that is their bliss. Let them do that. Don't feel guilted into doing anything. Be near moving or running water and nature to inspire you. Letting go of DNA that doesn't suit you. Alchemizing the negative into the positive. Transmuting habits of ghosting and not being seen or heard. Bridging the age gap in groups of all ages that you resonate with. Be an example to those who don't get it in your family. Raise your hand at 109, which is the Magician and the Hermit. Raise your hand and sweat it out to Richard Simmons and Michael Jackson and the oldies. Look back at your life on those days and times that made you happiest and why. Some like consistency and others like variety, and you can change your mind anytime. The Queen of Swords likes to speak about family history, legacy, bridges, and workplaces. The Emperor and his trusted High Priestess advisor, up to date on all sorts of religions or not, all at once. Madonna and the Torah, or Billie Jean and Barbara Jean, or jeans and a t-shirt, genomes and DNA, the word of the day, church and state, and merging both along with abundance. The snakeskin boots, or are those wrapped diabetic feet? The hooks in train, closets, or third eye? Smokestacks in archways, or university pen in pocket? Archie and Veronica, intuitive and pathways of love and affection all at the same time. Clock tower, Ben Franklin, kite, freedom rings, and Liberty Bell as the bell tolls at the Statue of Liberty for those who have passed through Ellis Island, the gateway to the New World. Men growing their beards out in protest of shavings, lightening up and then changing and shaving it all off. The High Priestess or Viking with helmet or stockings. Lang and Jessica, the name my 6th grade teacher used on my advice to name her surviving twin. The teacher who got me and appreciated my naked doodle of her and thanked me for her endowment. And then back to universities and hospitals again, and veterinarians, and taking care of our little soldiers, our pets, vying for your attention, to hear them. The trickle-down effect, and tripped up the stairs performance. Always a good laugh, laughing at oneself and not taking it so seriously. Only seriously. To SIR with love. Bond, merge, and fuse. Give your relationship a chance, and beneath that was love yourself first. At 132, which is the Magician and the Journeyman. The Devil and Mrs. Jones, the Graduate. The horny devil, so obsessed with his dinghy, he doesn't even notice when the naked woman is standing and dancing right behind him, and that he needs to trim his claws if he wants some lovin'. 2 out in the cold, under the olive branch, finally alone, with blueberries and roses twisting around the porch pillar, twisted pillar to twisted pillar. The devil taking a shower, and then to mark his territory, to tackle the boar, and coming up roses in the mirror. The devil being a woman who got pregnant by you on purpose, pleased with herself, her job now done, giving him the son he's always wanted. Then he'll surely stay with her for good, roped and tied by the child who's now in control. At 143, which is the Magician and the 3 of Cups, of coming together and reunions. Or this is a vacation, time to let go and be free. Grow out your hair, pee outside, and after the palm trees and sun and teen girls showing off and out of the way, I'm sure she'll tackle the boar or beast, getting roped in all over again. Kids grown and got pregnant. Is it yours? Or now your child brings home a child, and she or your partner are now thoroughly depressed, never to have freedom again, just a cow there to be milked while kids walk all over you, or a new child by the other woman. Being masked or muzzled, hand over mouth, fangs forcefully pulled. Now we have him right where we want him. 3 to 1 plus 1 new son. X, double X, and triple X plus 1, taken down by big palms and big feet. Then welcome to the main tent of the circus that is my life. Old depressed woman, X and kids or other women behind the scenes, and the new young one that you traded in for with perky boobs who got you pregnant on purpose, and now 3 plus all your choice because you let them. But you'll be seen as the devil from the outside. Communication comes up here with 33, which is the Christ vibration and standing up for yourself, taking the high ground. And beneath that was nature, to let things happen naturally and let them be balanced like nature is naturally at 74. The magician hiding his face while performing, showing his tools, but not the windows to the soul. Treasure and illusion he's holding on to. The 4 of Pentacles. The treasure here is an illusion because the treasure chest is the 10 of Pentacles. He's holding on to the 4 Pentacles, which obviously is not 10 Pentacles, after having lost the kids, or kids are mad at him because he's Scrooge and not letting them have any money, or holding on to bad memories, or a grudge with an old or close friend, recovering from feeling left out, deceived, or up before dawn to make sure everyone else in the family is happy. The illusion of the happy family. The gingerbread house, where Hansel and Gretel never get out. The howling dogs are now rabid, and crabby lobster is cooked and hung. Claws are no use to him now, and animals dug up the bulbs you just planted, while ladies who lunched just sat there and did nothing about it, playing with the cat. Swiss movement not working at all. Japanese all afloat, and not enough room in the boat, on Boathouse Row. Busybodies and bees everywhere, the inner workings recovering, but a bit rusty despite pristine appearance, at 211, which is the High Priestess and Justice. And ladies benched from the ball, but should be sitting on one, at 211. The Ten of Cups, all in the family, living in the past, looking back at the Ten of Pentacles, extended family, business, or community, or legacy, and the High Priestess judged, or Viking Princess judging sweetly, or worried about being compared to exes, or that someone will find out all about your exes. X's 1 to 5, 10, 11, 20, or even 61. And then XV15 came up, which is 15 times 2. The devil made me do it. Perhaps in communication with all your exes for attention, like you still keep in touch with all your exes, which I'm sure your present person loves, or they're your backup plans B and C, and 33, which again is the Christ vibration, or standing up for yourself. Or like in Jerry Maguire, standing up for yourself, and then they make a movie about what all your exes have to say about you. Or a breakup is communicated, or you just don't have affection for communication. The recent past is the King of Cups reversed, emotionally unavailable, cold, or you are detached or over-emotional, or alcoholic, or there's just someone around you, or sad after a split, a lie, or cutting through the BS, needing clarity, perhaps from kids who are unhappy, or a negative past, or lied to your best friend, and now you have a wedge between you. Family or emotional cycle ends with the Queen of Cups reversed and the devil waving. The sealed divine feminine in the 5D world, or just your world upside down, incomplete, at the King of Wands' feet. The King of Cups reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed have to say goodbye as Capricorn waves and the King of Wands looks on. Here in the underlying energy, we have Gemini reversed, Virgo both upright and reversed, same with Capricorn. Aries is upright, Pisces upright and reversed, and that could be a Virgo, one of them as well, the upright one. Libra upright, Aquarius upright, Leo upright, Cancer reversed at 2:30, which is the High Priestess, and the Four of Wands, the union energy, or the home. The foundation is the Queen of Pentacles reversed, free to spread the word, or Aries up to bat, or waiting for your ship to come in. Or maybe you're waiting for assurance that your ship will come in. You see it, you taste it, you see it out there and you taste it, but then all of a sudden it sails off the other way. Bored, apathetic, or grounding and integrating, having ignored a message of love, resting, sleeping, praying, or meditating in 5D, or someone laid to rest, and the injustice of juggling, performing, while ships are sailing away in the background. There was plenty of opportunity, but you just didn't take it. The Queen of Pentacles reversed, well rested and free, and all about money, or received an inheritance and skedaddled out of there, just when you were about to swing or step up to bat. The injustice of a message, news, or playing ball, or a child who just likes to talk. Bored of the same old, and now all of a sudden there's no opportunities because you never took them, because you were dependent on someone who really didn't have your best interest at heart. Aries upright, Libra reversed, now pitcher and baller. Pitcher and batter, switching positions, no longer in control. And the pitcher could leave just because they feel like it, so all of a sudden you may not have a pitcher. The central energy is finding peace, or a peaceful place at least. The Empress is upright and the Hierophant side by side, with the King of Wands upright on one side looking away, and the King of Swords reversed on the other side, stone cold and silent. Again here, combined church and state, but here it's the other way around, with the Empress in power and the Hierophant religious, or both Tauruses or parents remarried, the Empress with the Hierophant and the Emperor with the High Priestess. Perhaps two sons or partners, and the King of Wands upright is happily distracted at 2:44, the High Priestess and the Four of Cups, grounding and integrating and mastering of receiving of love, and the King of Swords reversed. There's a lot of Leo and Libra here, so they could be a Leo and Libra, the King of Wands and the King of Swords. They could also be a Sagittarius and a Gemini. So the challenge here is the Knight of Wands upright, the sexy man. Could be a sexy woman as well, but in this deck he's a sexy man, with a slow-burning yellow flame based in his solar plexus, and no more X's. The Ace of Pentacles offers a new life to the wounded warrior working to align, holding their tongue with crazy kids or Leo out of control, drained or sick, impatient and destined to tame the beast, losing their patience and affections or lost a lover, or going through a breakup, Libra being strong, or Leo or ego destined. Or Sagittarius reversed Libra and Gemini reversed Leo are breaking up, or Libra and Leo are finding peace and Sagittarius and Gemini are not. Another Leo and another Libra may not be talking but performing or whistleblowing, with good news and leading the way, offering help to the wounded warriors to find self-satisfaction with the shadow side and the devils who have run away or ghosted them, back to the past, or olive head, Italian, Greek, Middle Eastern, or Viking, peppery, hierophant, marriage, religion, or establishment. An ending, death, dark night, transformation, and feeling guilty at the circus, stealing away, or that the circuit, or the circus that is your life, is lined with gold at every entrance, or stealing from the dead or the homeless, while all around you have so much. So this is either you getting ousted out of the situation that's lined with gold, or feeling guilty for having so much, all your doorways lined with gold when you're dealing with people who have nothing. Or the Sagittarius reversed, Gemini reversed, Libra reversed, performing and juggling and leading the way to satisfaction. You notice they're all reversed. While the Capricorn upright, the Pisces upright, the Taurus upright, and Scorpio upright are actually seen as the bad guys, but yet they're all upright. Or those four sent the thief packing. Or someone got played or scammed by gypsies, tramps, and thieves, Italian horn, olive oil, snake charmer, and dark night without the bat cave. Now, and that's the guilty by association is coming up here too. That was coming up this week. So now is the Ten of Cups reversed in the present moment, crowning for the masculine, emotionally unfulfilled and holding back feelings and true desires, in constant arguments, fights, or debates with family, unhappy or cycle that has ended. Standing up for self and making a final decision, announcement, or wake-up call to action, a rebirthing process, and talking over all the naysayers and bad-mouthed kids, liars, gossipers, to take your power and sovereignty back. The injustice of the sham fam, or divorcing, or losing patience with no affection, inequity, and injustice going on. At night no longer working and now being love, or issues at work being offered love, or doing all the work just to come home to an unloving family or no help when you get there, and still being loving. Dreams of peace away with no more big love at work, and synchronicities, radiation, and harsh lies and need for clarity about ghosting and having too many options and decisions. In a split with the Queen of Wands and social distancing, or the King of Pentacles with overindulgences, or a third party sharing, or now settling out at 314, which is pi. It's also the Empress and the Temperance card. The King of Pentacles superhero getting attention for saving and or chasing down girls or kids, while ignoring yet sharing with the Queen of Swords in the mirror. The Dark Priestess with a very low cleavage, with an open book and hidden keys, perhaps brown hair surrounded by pomegranates or red fruits and veggies in a wreath, or always in red or pink, and shows off her legs and fantasizes about the Knight of Wands taking her in his arms. The Knight of Pentacles offers help, money, and opportunity, or an explanation to the Knight of Wands, or awakening has brought clarity between them, the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, with synchronicities and dreams and or their dream girl. Aquarius, Pisces, Capricorn, reversed, just the Capricorn, and perhaps Virgo, Sagittarius, and Taurus here too. Soon for the masculine is the Chariot upright, in a bold move or travel or ascending quickly, or a Cancer person. Letting go to fix things between the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, which can be the inner children of the masculine and feminine, or their children, after working hard to align with letting go of the wounded warrior's wounds. Not so suddenly, connecting face to face with sovereign post-war and dealing with PTSD and looting and impatient for an apology, or after the war with fallen angel, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, which can be Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, or just someone who's all about money. The sovereign is upright, finding peace with the King of Pentacles upright in connection after the kids make up with each other, or the inner children, without the Queen of Pentacles reversed. It looks like the Queen of Pentacles here was ousted. And she can just be someone ungrounded, but it seems specifically in this read that she's all about the money, that she chooses the money over the love relationship. Perhaps with this Queen of Pentacles reversed, possibly could have Sagittarius in her chart as well, but definitely could have Earth in her chart. Cancer and Scorpio reversed here, Sagittarius reversed, and lots of Earth. He is seeing himself as the Ace of Swords reversed, seeing himself as divided or a liar, or needing clarity, or actually pulling the sword from his own heart. The Page of Pentacles upright, the student, or awakening the King of Pentacles on a quest for the impossible dream in the pursuit of happiness, but uncomfortable, still recovering from loss, regret, and the past, with the Hermit shedding light on pain and suffering caused by the awakening process. And that was at 3:33. And that's the Empress, and then the Christ vibration. Again, the Seven of Wands, standing up for yourself. So getting to know each other comes up for the masculine. Release your ex again, and then soulmate came up. Yes, this is your soulmate. Around the masculine, or how he's seen, is the Alchemy card reversed. Impatient to implement a plan of healing, forgiveness, with the King of Cups reversed, which can be someone who's emotionally unavailable, cold and detached, or over-emotional, and perhaps a drinker, to go on a journey of release. So they're impatient to implement a plan of healing and forgiveness with this King of Cups reversed, in order to go on a journey of release and allowing and dumping a load and confessing. There's no higher love here. Strategy and impatience to get the other to apologize first. It looks like a father and child thing here, with the King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles on the masculine, who are good, but on the environment card, it's the Sagittarius reversed and the King of Cups reversed, not so much. Or it's the King of Pentacles with his inner child dealing with the King of Cups reversed and his inner child, or with Sagittarius reversed in their chart. On the journey of healing and dumping everything on the King of Cups' head, perhaps, or the King of Cups reversed feels like they're making it all their fault. The challenge or the block for the masculine here is the Six of Pentacles upright, sharing equally, equitably, teaching and learning from each other, giving and receiving from each other, a mutual exchange, or settling out post-war with Sagittarius reversed and Queen of Pentacles reversed, or they're one person, or thinking he's supposed to share equally with his partner and his ex, especially if they're still in touch with all their exes, or thinking he needs to settle out equally between an ex and his daughter, or between multiple kids. And again, it's about treating kids, being fair to your kids and treating them equally, but not, you have to treat them authentically as well, because they each have different personalities. Or it could be dealing, worried about balancing people at work as well. Someone may have been dumped in the trash, literally put out, or feel like they were discarded like yesterday's trash. So then again, self-F discipline, selling F discipline. So advertising to screw discipline, it's about all the discipline is, the spiritual discipline is coming back to the present, and coming back to 0 point, coming back to connecting to yourself, again, using your own guidance system. 345, which is 345, the 3D, 4D, and 5D. And 3 is the Empress, 45 is that 5 of Cups again, that grieving, loss, regret, guilt, and shame, but also being stuck at the Y in the road, stuck in the past, not letting go. So besides the self-discipline that was coming up even more so here is parenting, which isn't just about parenting your kids, it's about parenting your inner child and parenting your parents, and individuality, dealing with your own individuality and realizing that your kids are individuals and your parents are individuals, and not to treat them all the same way. So this also can be a man with two lovers, dumping one or both, or disconnecting from kids attached at the hip. A clean cut, end, death, transition from a manly woman or a womanly man. Injustice of synchronicities, or heaven in his eyes. Dreams of the high priestess and the Hierophant, with the devil and the grim reaper around them, that only death could set him free. The injustice of the devil or horny Capricorn, running in the past or from the past, from the high priestess, the Viking princess, or a Pisces, always looking back, and thy high priestess and Hierophant left behind, injured and weak, in exile, destitute or ill, escorted by the dark night out of the building. Or Capricorn took from Pisces or Virgo in the past, or her living in the past, and the Taurus and Scorpio are left behind, the Scorpio feeling guilty on 2 counts. Or literally a hostage situation where they were surrounded and got caught, or hostages were released, at least 2 anyway. Pisces, Capricorn, Taurus, and Scorpio, they're all upright, but Libra is reversed here. And the Knight of Pentacles upright is probably a Virgo, and the Knight of Wands upright probably a Sagittarius Capricorn, who now have clarity between them. And the Dark Knight or Scorpio Libra reversed meets opposition in a painful end or betrayal or ending pain or a painful death on 3 to 4 levels. The Grim Reaper surrounding Libra reversed, or lots of Scorpios bullying him or fearing a military state, or death and transformation on 3 or 4 levels as he climbs 7 steps facing death head on, which may be a big fear of his. The Knight of Cups offering love, Libra reversed, Scorpio upright here, and Taurus upright. The Knight of Cups perhaps a Cancer upright, and the Divine Feminine's heart coming out of the E-Tower, transitioning through the portal in a big, bold way. Scorpio and Cancer moving, traveling, ascending together. Living in the past, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, divided or in a split, a lie, or cutting through the crap, or cutting to the chase, losing patience, imbalanced, and the King of Cups reversed, finding peace, but challenged by the Knight of Wands upright, driving, moving, or traveling, and sharing or settling out, or being too charitable, with the Ten of Cups reversed family that has ended unfairly, with or to the Knight of Cups at night, with the Divine Feminine's heart transitioning through the portal boldly to ascend together. The 7 steps of the Page of Cups, aligning with sovereignty, looking back at the King of Cups reversed, with happy family or happy ending, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, finding peace without the Ten of Cups reversed, challenged by the Knight of Wands in a split, lie, or cutting through the BS, divided about chariot, move, travel, ascension, that they may feel is unfair, losing patience and balance, and then rebalancing just to settle out in injustice again. A divorce with the Knight of Cups at night, or Cancer implementing a transition, move, travel, or ascension, and that was at 413, which is the Emperor and the Death card. And then we turn the page, it's 414, which is the Temperance card, the Emperor and being impatient, because Temperance was reversed in this read, or the Divine Masculine feels like death or Scorpios or Cancer follows him wherever he goes. So he might feel like he's bad luck here. Some people might say, no matter what I do, there's always death or Scorpios or Cancers around. So feeling like it's my fault, it's my energy because I bring it wherever I go. But note that also that's Scorpio energy. Scorpio is all about death, money, and taxes. So if you're around a lot of Scorpios, you're going to see a lot of that kind of energy coming up. But also there may be some people with Cancer around you, so you may be attributing your energy to the Cancer or the Scorpios or to the death, but it's not you. And you draw to you what's in your subconscious, and your subconscious is the opposite of how you project. We are the whole of everything. We're not just our personality, we're all of the opposites of our personality, which is why we need to consciously see both ends of the spectrum and then merge the two, which is the 0 point. Once you clear those wounds that are attracting those things into your life, those things will no longer come into your life. They won't come into your field. Now, this is a very, very powerful ending here in this read, because we literally had all 4 death cards, not just in the read, from all the 4 decks that can have those cards, but they're all at the end there. There's 4 death cards right there at the end in the 4 corners there. So if it may not be death, it could just be a big ending of something, but it's possible for sure that someone could pass. There are 4 death cards here, 3 lovers cards, and of course the death cards can just be Scorpios. And there's 3 lover cards that are reversed here, which are breakups and disconnects or lack of affection, but those can also be 3 Geminis who are unhappy. And then there's also 2 Cancer cards right there at the end. So it's a very big energy of Scorpio, Gemini, and Cancer right there. Or it could be a death of a Gemini or air sign or Capricorn. And it's not likely, but perhaps there's a death that's unnatural, or just a lot of communication with the dead. So somebody could be learning their abilities, or a huge change or a transition or a complete transformation happens here at the end, especially with the Chariot card at the end, because that's the vehicle of ascension. And then you see the Lovers, the mini deck of the Lovers card is on this top of here. That's the Lovers reversed right here. In addition to this card is the Lovers reversed, and then the Lovers reversed is right over here too. But the Death cards are all right here. This one, the last card, Death, yep, they're all over the place. So it doesn't usually end up this way. It's very powerful, deep, dark, transformational energy here at the end. So I'm going to pull another energy card, see what comes up about that. Where are we? We're 105.36 it was when I looked. So 1 is the Magician, 05 is the Hierophant, and then the 36 is that 10 of Wands, you know, the Atlas weight of the world upon your shoulders energy. You know you're going to break if you don't stop carrying so much weight. And that was referencing the Magician and the Hierophant. Now in this read, the Hierophant was upright, but the Magician was not. That could be some major insecurities or manipulation going on there. So let's see what comes up now for you guys. What is our takeaway for this read? For the Divine Masculine, please. We have adjacent possibilities. And this has to do with toggling sideways. So remember we were talking about congruent, side by side. So when you can't go up and down, you know, maneuver side to side. So when you can't go from 3D to 5D easily, then go back and forth between masculine and feminine. And when one window of opportunity doesn't work, then just try another door or window. There's always adjacent possibilities. And this is 24, the Queen of Wands, which is also for me it's Omega, which for me was also referencing the end of karma. In addition to the number 81 comes up for the end of karma for me. We also have 36 again, which again, this is that 10 of Wands energy, the Atlas energy. And this is the second chakra, Archangel Ariel, which has to do with the sexual and creative energy. All right, so if you're so stressed out carrying 10 wands, you can't, you know, how can you be creative or feel passionate about anybody? You're too tired. There's always a choice. There are always other possibilities. And this is someone saying, yeah, but I don't have any other options, but you do. You say you don't have any other choices. You always have another choice. You can choose love or you can choose fear. And you notice this is 24, 36, 12, 24, 36, right? What's the missing space? And what's the missing space between is 30, which is the union energy. So we're missing the 12 of wisdom, and the clock is 7:17 here, 7:17 as I'm looking over there. And then 30 is the union, as the clock says 7:17. The bottom of the deck here is the woman holding a coin, and she's a bit severe in this deck, right? She's got a really grouchy face. She's powerful, but she doesn't look very nice. We've got the 42 there, but she doesn't look like a nice partnership. She looks like, you know, the matriarch that wants to control everyone. And she wants to make sure everyone knows how unhappy she is. So they'll do exactly what she wants to make sure that they get her inheritance. That's the kind of energy that's coming up here. Beneath it, we have the 52 of the Queen of Swords, which is a very different energy. And she's the holder of the moon and the light. It's like she's holding up the false light in the sky. Give me 1 second. I'm also getting, this could be, you know, there's a 10-year age difference here. So it could be two women, you know, a younger woman, but she's coming up with the 52, and the older woman coming up with the 42. So it could literally be people, women of a 10-year difference, but that the younger one is actually acting like the older one and vice versa. So that's kind of interesting coming up. And it's not even that this person's a bad person, but it looks like she doesn't trust people, right? Because they've hurt her, or they've manipulated her, or they've stolen from her. So maybe she feels like all she can trust is her comfort and her stuff. because everyone else has betrayed her. But this may even be another side of her, right? She may have two different, very different sides. 52 is the Queen of Swords, which is all about integrity and truth and honesty, but it can be cold. And then this is the Two of Cups, which is just partnership. It's more business partnership, not love partnership. So she's all about business, and this one's all about the truth. So where's the love? That's the issue here. So again, these were the cards coming out for you guys. Adjacent possibilities, when you're feeling all hope is lost, it is not. There's always another path. The path of love, your authentic self, following your higher guidance. So let's see what comes out from the Kipper deck. We have high honor here, and this could be like a 3 or 6 gun salute. You know, there's 3 men in each cannon, so that can be the 369 that we were just talking about, 3D, 4D, 5D, and it's the 25, which is the challenge today, the Knight of Wands right here. The Knight of Wands, that's that passionate man. But passionate men also go to war, right? Because they're very physical. They like to get passionate about something when they want to win. But there's also like some kind of, you know, high honor here. And this could even be like, you know, at a funeral service, you know, having a specific tribute. But this high honor seems to be about war heroes. And that it was always a noble thing to be a warrior, right? But then we have the Thief card upside down. Somebody might have, to catch a thief, I'm getting. So somebody literally might have caught a thief and they're getting an honoring for having caught the bad guy. And this is the 24, the Queen of Wands energy reversed. So the Knight of Wands may have caught the Queen of Wands at her own game. And they're being celebrated for having caught them. And there is a breakup in love here, or there's no love lost between them, or there's a lack of affection here. The bottom of the deck is courtship reversed. So there's something there's definitely a breakup in this read coming up. And this is about a man who's maturing and is now letting go of this courtship. It may have had more to do with his occupation than any actual love in the relationship. Okay, and there was despair in the relationship as well. And a reversal of fortune here, it looks like. Okay, I hope that was helpful. This is the read in front of you. Okay, those are the cards for this read, and then the full read is here as well. And there's the Chariot at the end. The Lover's card reversed. So make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, and yeah, take it easy. My lungs are a little stressed today, so make sure to take your deep breaths and relax and rise and be love.